Hello, welcome to this colorful vlog. My name is Carolien and this is a very special edition of the vlog because this is the stash toss video or inventory of the big yarn and fiber stash. I look a bit frazzled, I know. This is me editing the vlog and seeing that I forgot to record a little snippet on the front, and I just came in from a walk where we got rained upon by surprise, and yeah, it was a bit wet. So this will be it from Frazzled Me. I hope you enjoy all the snippets I recorded during the last week that I sorted through my stash, ordered everything into the bins and figured out a new sorting system for myself, and I hope it might even inspire more people to sort through their stash as well and give an idea of how you can have some sort of system in it or whatever. I know I don't really have a real system, but this is just what works for me. Right, Bings Mister is here, and we're gonna give over to Carolien of the past and the whole stash. Enjoy! I thought I'd show you my lab first before I shock you all. Here is the extent of my fiber collection. I am sitting in it. To be fair, I had one bin full, but I had to empty it because one of the wheels broke out, and since the bottom is already fragile, I couldn't pop it back in, so I had to basically turn over the whole box and pop the wheel back in where I could support it on the inside. So now I really do have the full extent on the floor. It will probably fit into the 2.5 bins I have. That bin there is a lot of undyed stuff that I need to dye, and part is shop stuff, part is personal stuff, but I might actually just pop some random 100-gram fiber thingies, roving pieces in the shop. That is a work in progress, and this is everything I have put aside to blend into Rolex or bats or anything. Here's another empty box. Yeah, better just keep that here. And yeah, so from a distance it looks like this. Let's get it all in one shot. That's it, all my fiber. Now I'm gonna neatly store it in the bins again. I did it! It is all neatly packed away again. I have a floor again. It was a bit much. Yeah, I know. This is all my hand dyed, and I'm gonna see what I still want to spin of this and what I will be selling. Probably on de-stash basis because it's already older. 2 buckets full, mostly alphabetically, so A to F and the rest. And then there's my bucket with bigger spins, the 600 grams that I got from John Arbon, which reminds me I have to photograph that stuff. But also 400 grams of undercover otter in a certain colorway that I want to make a bigger project of. Then I added a tiny bit to the blending carding pile. It's carded sliver of Corridale, and I might actually de-stash that as well. I'm not sure yet. And this is in progress projects. And those 2 bags do not belong with the fiber. That is just for the next part of my what we call it, inventory. So yeah, there we go. The extent of the fiber collection fits in 2.5 bins and a tiny bit extra. So end of the year, next year, I am hoping to have it downsized that the drawer is empty, or at least that there's enough space so I can put that into one of the bins. And also maybe half of the bottom bin dyed up and sold. That would be a nice idea, because then I would have definitely space. So more fiber dyeing this year, more fiber usage this year, way less fiber buying this year. I finally unpacked my advent calendar and put them all together. I mean, I unpacked them day by day, but I put them back by number so I could sort them. Here they are. I really love it. Really, really pretty. Now, to figure out what to make with it, I'm thinking a sweater. And here is the full extent of my yarn stash, basically, without any commercial sock yarn, and a little bits and bobs that I know I have and are not very interesting to get out of the drawer, like 20 balls of undyed sock yarn with a little bit of sparkle. Yeah, it's gonna take me a while. I'm happy I took 2 days. I actually now have a box with all my project bags that are empty. Yeah, that one's probably gonna get emptied so I have room for yarn, because yarn, yeah, it's a lot, but I'm okay with that. The neighbor is drilling again. I'll quit. Just a little in-between update of this mess. I am collecting mini skeins and stuff that are leftovers basically on this. Yeah, I was collecting it in here, but it is too big. I'm now also putting it there. And this needs to be photographed and added to, also what's in here, added to my stash. This is what is left of a box full of my own hand dyed. All skeins that I like too much to sell, that are one of a kind, that are special, that are just not what I wanted to be, and I kept it. And that's gonna change. This bag contains projects, so full project altogether. That is a bucket of commercial yarn, 2 empty bags. On the table, big stack of project bags, yarn that goes in the drawer, another bag of yarn that goes into the D-stash. There is a box of leftovers and mini skeins. Then I have an advent calendar, 2 advent calendars, and 1, 2, 3 advent calendars behind that, 4 even. So yeah, that's 7 advent calendars, and in that box there I have at least 2 more. I really should stop buying advent calendars. My box of undercover otter yarn and the same base yarn from other dyers. Undercover otter yarn that was in project bags ready to go to make something, but I don't know what. That is business stuff. All undyed sample skeins and stuff. Singles in that box. I do not need to touch that. I already did that and it's all good. Leftovers, leftovers, leftovers. Yarn I dyed that is bleeding or went wrong in some way, didn't turn out to be the right color or whatever. The Namaste bag has some commercial yarn in big bags that I need to photograph still, and that is the whole D-stash pile. It has a lot of one-of-a-kind hand-dyed, and I'm contemplating what to do with it. There, 2 boxes of sweater quantities and a tiny bit of business yarn that I will put into that bin. That's where it belongs. Then there is my Unicut stash, those big things with acrylic and cotton, and my Knit Picks palette. And then I have to turn around the other way. So you can see Miss Leia sleeping there. I cannot turn around. I kind of build myself in. I'm gonna remove my power and we're gonna go back because now I can turn around. This is what I have to put away still. It will be fine. I have here a few boxes. This I have to check, but I think this is all nice hand-dyed, indie-dyed yarn. There are a few skeins in there probably that might go into de-stash. I already threw out one. Might be a few more. Underneath that is now a box of DK yarn. I apparently have DK yarn that fits into a box. This is all sock yarn, sturdy sock yarn, BFL sock yarn, and some of these. I got this for a shawl. I'm not sure if I'm ever gonna do that. I got the Noro yarn for entrelac knitting. I'm not sure if I'm ever gonna do that, but I'm not parting with it. And this is the fancy sock yarn, like the MCNs, the expensive ones. Lots and lots of yarn, merino without a lot of nylon, so not the stuff. This one is BFL. That one shouldn't be in there. Whatever. This is a problem zone. That is sport weight and lace weight, and actually everything that is not sock yarn but is fingering weight, but 100% wool, mostly merino. And then I have the prettiest box of all. This is all self-striping yarn. I have 3 more skeins that I need to photograph that need to go in there. I also put my Zauberballs, the stroppel yarn in there, and my Debbie Bliss. It's also self-striping, I thought. So, yeah. And then I have stuff that needs to be over-dyed, and I think this is a bleeder, so I need to wash and dry it. Maybe I'll unravel it first and then wash and dry it. So I have just a double-stranded sock blank for a gradient sock or something. And yeah, I found the project bag again, which I'm really happy about because it's a nice big project bag. And I'm going to dive into this one. Oh, good point. This one, yeah, it's really pretty. No, it's not my color. Going into the de-stash. Bye-bye. So, yeah, it's a lot. I got 2 days for this and I'm already over halfway. Hooray. I guess I managed a lot. It's now Thursday afternoon, so 2 days in. I have sorted out all of these boxes. They are ready to go upstairs again. I even managed, this one was full to the brim with my own hand-dyed that I would steal from the shop. Sometimes if something went wrong, a bit too much of red in a colorway or a bit too much of speckles of something else, or just because I liked it too much and it was a one of a kind, half of that is going into de-stash. That is all my self-striping. Then we have DK yarn underneath Knit Picks palettes and Unicat. I already talked about that yarn. It is the cotton and acrylic. Let me sneak by. This goes into the drawer. Then we have basically all sock yarn. If I'm correct, that's all indie dyed sock yarns. A little bit of this or that here and there. Then I have one box, tiny box of lace. It is now half a box instead of half a box and something else. This is sport weight and fingering weight, but not sock. So it now also contains my singles. I swapped the singles out with the lace. 2 boxes of sweater quantities. And now I have this side to do. Advent calendars, leftovers and started stuff and whatevers. Leftovers. That's already sold. Though that's a stack of project bags I need to figure out. That's commercial yarn. It has to go somewhere else. Those are future projects ready to go. This is all D-stash. It will be interesting. Still more leftovers and minis, and those boxes are also all leftovers and minis. You came to say hello. Hello. Say hello to the people. Yes, you came to say hello. Oh, you're nice and warm. And you woke up your sister as well. Oh, Mr. Pinks. So yeah, I see a bag down there. That's also future project yarn. Already wound and everything. So yeah, it's a lot. But it's back in place and I sorted out a lot. I even managed to put 10 skeins of undercover otter yarn in D-stash. Look, the newest advent calendar. And Squiggle Yarns advent calendar. This is a fade cardigan to be. And Hemsblad Regina advent calendar. Not sure what that's gonna be. Might be just socks or something. Yeah. Cat for scale for the bag of D-stash. Yeah. Apparently day 3 is for sorting the scraps and minis. It is New Year's Eve, or like we say, Old Year's Day. Trying to keep the cats calm, and there's still fireworks going off, even though it is prohibited this year. But okay, they're doing okay. We're all doing okay. Maybe I'm not, but okay. I have my big bin with my own hand-dyed minis, leftovers, scraps, whatever, in case I need anything for anything. That's a box with not my own hand-dyed, but hand-dyed, indie-dyed minis bought, gifted, swapped leftovers. That's an advent calendar box. I think there's 5 advent calendars in there, maybe even 7. Those are 3 advent calendars in 2 boxes. This is not sock yarn, so I have fingering weight, mostly singles, leftovers, and some minis and unicorn tails and stuff. And beneath that is everything else, so DK, lace, whatever, as long as it's not sock and no nylon content, etc. I'm missing one, yeah. Here's my commercial mini skeins, leftovers, scraps. Always handy for Sock Madness and stuff. In case you don't know what Sock Madness is a yearly knitting competition for sock knitting. Yeah, that big laundry basket are all the minis and scraps and leftovers that I'm going to sort out into random bags. Leftover mini skeins from mini skein sets that, well, at the end of a skein, when back in the day when I was dyeing on a full skein and then breaking it up into minis, you would always have 9 minis of 10 grams and 1 leftover. And more usually than not, it's like somewhere between 5 and 9 grams. So lots of that. But also advent calendars that, no, this is the cocktail collection. Where's the advent? There's the advent calendar. I would always dye up a little extra, just in case an advent calendar would go missing, or yeah. So I have 20 gram extras, but I also have 10 gram extras. And sometimes I have my own advent calendar still in full, because I haven't used it yet. So I'm gonna sort through that, make sure I have one mini of each colorway for my own blanket that I do want to make, and I do have an idea about that. And yeah, then the rest will go into grab bags for you guys. I'm going to do a destash. That is the destash bag. It's really heavy. That is projects to come, and I might actually do 12 cast-ons of Christmas after all, Ange. At least a few. I'm going to cast on tomorrow for socks. The day after that, I'm going to cast on the rainbow sweater for the knit along, and then we'll see where it's at later. Yeah, it's a lot. I hope you found it helpful to see how I sort my stuff. Yeah, I know I have a crazy amount. I had some messages of people. Wait, I'm going to turn the camera around. That's easier. Hi. Yeah, as I was saying, I hope you found it helpful. I know I have a crazy amount of yarn. I'm working on that. And I got a few messages of people saying that they found it really helpful to see that they don't have that much yarn, and or how I sorted it. And yeah, Binks is walking around. I'm just checking that he didn't find a loose end of a yarn ball or something. Oh, you want to be in the video? Who can resist those big eyes? Yeah, that, well, they found it helpful that I have more than they do. I also follow accounts with people who have more than I do, so yes, I know how that feels. Like, oh, I'm not that bad. Yeah, exactly. It's not bad, but we feel like it is bad or something, because people tell us it's wrong, or indulge in your hobby like you want to. I'm not hurting anyone, and it's my own money, so I can do this. This is what I choose to do with it. I also choose to not do it that much next year, and look at my stash and look at what I have more. And the way I sorted it, I hope that was helpful to give you an idea of how you can do it. I sorted by weight. That's the first step. And since I have a lot of fingering weight, then I sort that out into different groups. You haven't seen my commercial sock yarn stash. That's just 2 drawers and a little extra nowadays, because I have that bucket there with all commercial yarn that I pulled out of from all the boxes. That's just yarn I use for gift knitting, sock madness patterns, or other sock competitions that I'm like, I don't know if this is the pattern I like, but I want to stay in a competition, so I have to knit something. I'm not going to use my pretty yarn for that. Yeah, I'm opinionated about that. And because I do not have a local yarn shop local to me, I have to order everything online or buy it when I have the chance. And I don't want to do that on the spot. So what I did is, when there was a sale or something, I would buy a little bit extra and I would make my own stash. So I did start small, but I do have a hoarding tendency with everything. I need to own everything before I can start. And that's how I've always been. And well, I'm not sure if I will always be like that, because I now have hobbies I really love and are sticking with me. But who knows for the future? I try to change things a little bit, and I now know that I have ADD, not officially, but I have talked to a therapist about it, and it's definitely one of the things that is very common in ADD. So yeah, it's part of me, and I accepted it. Robert accepts it as well. He's happy that I'm doing it now. I've sorted out stuff. I found a few things that I didn't know I had that weren't in my stash, Ravelry stash documents yet. I fixed that. And now I have to get all the stuff that I'm destashing out of my stash and figure out a way to really do a good destash. I'm probably gonna do it on Instagram this time because on Ravelry it's not getting a lot of attention and a lot of people can't use Ravelry anymore. So I thought Instagram would be better. I'm not sure if I'm gonna open a separate account or if I'm going to do a stories and then make a highlight and just remove what's already been sold. So yeah, we'll see about that. That's all for the new year, and since this video will go up a little bit later in the new year, it is going to be after I publish this video. I'm going to let go of a lot of yarn, and it always hurts me a bit, but that's good, I think. And that's what I wanted to tell you about as well. All the money I get from the destash will go into a new camera because I really need one. The old one is just getting blurry vision, and yeah, that's not what we want. I have my phone back, so that's why I'm recording now, but that's not a good solution for the long term. I would really like a good camera because my current one is, I think, over 10 years old, so oh well. I hope you all enjoyed this vlog craziness. It's a lot of short clips and it's a lot of yarn. And I hope to see you again soon for a real podcast. Things is getting a bit heavy. And wishing you all the best for 2022. Fingers crossed it will be a good one.